What is up, everybody? It is Dives, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. The Sixers got the W tonight, 141 to 136. This is our post-game show. We're going to talk about our top takeaways. We're going to do some grades, and we're going to just kind of dissect this 20th straight consecutive home win for the Sixers, the number one team in the NBA. Joining us today is my man, Dylan. You know him on Twitter at DylanJD98. What's going on, Dylan?
What's up, Dives? I said it about 3 times already, but I'll continue to say it. Still trying to dig my heart out of my ass right now before we break this game down. My God. I think I'm fully gray now, but
in the words of Bad Boys, woosah. Woosah, baby. Let's go. Big Shane Gillis says, it is lit. Also joining us tonight is my man, Brock. You know him as part of those amazing Sixers film breakdowns here at the TPL YouTube channel. What is up, Brock?
Chris, what's going on? I appreciate the kind words. My guys to the right of me, well, at least on my right, Dylan and Matt. What's going on, fellas? I'm glad to chop it up.
Let's go. Let's go.
Stay solid, Brock.
Stay solid. Stay solid.
Also joining us is my man, Gint, part of the Faithful Fanatics, and I guess Daily Dose. I'm not really sure anymore.
I can't get rid of him, dude. I can't get rid of him.
He texts me every night and says, we're going tomorrow, right? I was like, yeah.
All right, what's going on, Gint?
Nothing, man. That was a fun one. Nerve-wracking, but a fun one.
I don't even know where to begin with this game. So many emotions flowing, the highs and the lows. The Sixers came into this game first in defensive efficiency, 13th in effective field goal percentage. One of those was staying tonight. But yeah, let's talk about this first half. They dropped like 80-some points. Just an amazing first half. Seth Curry, the three-point shooting. It was one of those first halves. It was a dream. It was like pinch me. Like I was just grabbing my wife. I was like, "What is this? Is this real life?" And then all of a sudden, you saw the Sixers kind of lose momentum heading into that third quarter. And then all of a sudden, it was just a 116 to 106 game in the third quarter. The Wizards went on a 45 to 21 run, and then really Joel Embiid and Seth Curry stopped the bleeding. Ben Simmons had some major plays. They stopped the bleeding. But, wow, the Sixers got the W. Let's start talking about our main takeaways. Lead us off, Dylan.
Well, first of all, Chris, we have breaking news.
Oh, boy.
Listen. But before you go, right? I keep getting these people in my comment section and on Twitter talking about the size shirts I'm wearing. All right, I need to put an end to this. Let me pull my shirts out of my drawer right here while I got them.
Can't find this anywhere else, guys.
This has been going on for weeks now, right? So I need to prove this to everybody. You probably can't see it on my camera here. That letter is an L, okay? That's an L. My gray shirt, that letter is an L. My black shirt, they're all larges. I don't know what you want me to do.
Bump up a size.
Listen, I said I'll go up a size or two when I start getting some ad revenue. So when these YouTube views start paying me out, that's when I'll go up in sizes.
There it is. Love it. All right, so top takeaway.
Yeah, sorry, Dives. I got a little off topic there. Top takeaway, dude, I don't even know. I'm trying to still evaluate what I just watched. Up 21 in the third quarter. They coasted through the first half, most of the third quarter, and then bang, Washington's up 2 in the fourth quarter. My main takeaway, I mean, dude, they shot what, 63% from 3. I mean, Gint said earlier, win the 3-point battle. I mean, my God, talk about winning the 3-point battle. Shot the lights out. Joel Embiid had 1 point after the first quarter. He finished with 38. He was unstoppable. I guess if I have to have a takeaway, it's the fact that either the defense stepped up in the fourth quarter on Bradley Beal or Bradley Beal went cold because he finished with 2 points in the fourth quarter after dropping a record personal high. So I'm still trying to digest what I watched.
Me too, man. This was just the highs and the lows. I'm just stunned. What about you, Gint?
I think that it has to be this team is just way more mentally tough than previous Sixers teams. I feel like previously a team that goes on that kind of run, we don't win that game, and we let it slip through our fingers. But the way they were able to wheel it together, Ben and Joel were able to wheel it together, that's a really, really good sign, in my opinion, for these Sixers.
Yep.
It was a gut check, definitely.
gut check. You want your main guy to lead you. Joel Embiid had 11 points in that last 5 minutes, baby. What more do you want? What about you, Brock? Takes.
You see semblance of a real basketball team here. Chris, you alluded to what happened in the first half. The Sixers scored 82 points. That was their highest total in a first half, or the second high, I should say, in the past 24-plus seasons. So last year in 73 games, the Sixers scored 70 or more points in the first half 4 times. This year in 8 games, they've done it 3 times. So the offense in the first half, it was clicking, but in the second half, what I saw was Doc Rivers started to get the ball into Seth Curry's hands in the fourth quarter. The Sixers go on an 8-0 swing where they're giving up unanswered points. He gets the ball in Seth Curry's hands. Down the stretch, final 4 minutes, there's play design. Get guys open down low, create open looks, get your guys open in space, and that's what real basketball teams do. So to kind of piggyback on Gin's point and Dylan's too, there's semblance of a real basketball team here, and that's the first time I can say that in, I don't know, the past 3 seasons.
Baby, I don't even know. Let's talk a little bit about more takeaways, especially in that fourth quarter. The Wizards went on a 45-21 stretch. The Sixers were 14 of 18 from 3 at one point in that third quarter. The starters were 13 of 18. They hit 100 points with 6 minutes remaining, and just the wheels fell off. Bradley Beal couldn't be stopped. 25 points in the third quarter, and then just Ish Smith had a pull-up jumper and then a layup, made it a 2-point game with 10 minutes left in the fourth. You just felt the momentum change. The Sixers started getting tight. All their shots seemed to be hitting the front of the rim. And then even Raul Neto made the go-ahead bucket.
I got one for you, Dodge.
What? Raul Neto. Go ahead.
I got one for you. We still need James Harden to create offense.
You're opening a can of worms here, Dylan.
Let's do it.
Open that can.
Let's do it.
He does it to himself. He does.
I'm telling you, Mike Scott and Furkan Korkmaz can just sit for the rest of the season because if this is what we're going to be watching, I'm good. I'm good, baby. Let's go into player of the game, Dylan. Who's your player of the game here?
I mean, it's almost impossible to not say number 21. But I'll leave that to Gint because he's Mr. Simple down there. I'll go different. Seth Curry was out of his mind tonight, starting what 5 or 6 of 6 from deep. Finished with not even, but that's what we were talking about earlier in the week on the Daily Dose and all. It's not just what he brings in spacing and 3-point shooting. Obviously, 6 of 6 from 3 is out of this world. But like Brock said, getting the ball in his hands late in the game, he was creating his own shot, creating offense, down in crunch time when, they were up by 21, that lead disappears, you need a bucket, Seth goes and gets you a bucket. He was out of this world. So I'll go with Seth Curry.
Seth Curry's mine as well. There was a time when the Sixers could not stop the bleeding. Seth Curry had 6 points in the fourth and really trying to kind of just calm down the offense and gave momentum back to the Sixers. What about you, Gint, player of the game?
Dylan kind of said, I'm going to go with Joel, mainly because of what you said earlier. Last 5 minutes, he had 11 points. It felt like he really did just wheel this team to a victory. It was like he was the quarterback, 2-minute drill, and just got it done for us.
What about you, Brock?
I'm going to say Bradley Beal. He had 44 points, and he couldn't really be stopped until late in the fourth. But in regards to the Sixers MVP, it was Joel Embiid. Not only did he win them the game in the fourth quarter, getting to the line, and nobody has more free throws from the post than Embiid since 2016. But also, I've been tracking the Joel Embiid effect in the second quarter going into halftime, seeing how he impacts the game. And there's been an MVP impact where he's determined the outcome of the game at least 4 times this season. So tonight, the Sixers lead by 10 when Embiid subs into the game in the second quarter.
Yeah.
At the end of the quarter, the Sixers now lead 82-67, so it's a bigger lead. He had 14 points in that quarter on 75% shooting, a steal, and a block. So Embiid is coming into the game, and he's making impacts that determine the rest of the game or set the tone for the rest of the game. So Joel Embiid is my MVP not only for this game, but in the league right now. And I've said if he can play over 80% of the games on his schedule, he's most definitely a contender for MVP. It just comes down to, can you give it to a big man?
How about Shake Milton? Give a little Shake Milton some love in this game. You looked especially in that first half. The Sixers outscored the Wizards 18-16 with Embiid on the bench. When does the last time that happened where Embiid had 1 point in the game and the Sixers were winning by a good amount in that first? I know the 3-point shooting was absolutely bananas, but Shake Milton, you look back, he kind of struggled there the first 4 games or so, 103 offensive rating, then 119, 114, 19 points tonight in 20 minutes, 6 of 9. Glad to see Shake Milton get off the wagon there. And then Matisse Thybulle. Let's give some love to my man Matisse Thybulle with that block on Beal at the end of the fourth quarter. That was a fantastic moment for Matisse. Brock is going a little, no.
I'm giving him love for that play, but he got cooked. He was barbecued in that game. So I'm cautiously optimistic about Matisse.
All right, let's talk about grades. How would you grade this team? How would you grade this performance for the Sixers, Brock?
Well, right now, I think I'm going to give this tonight a C+. Overall, I think the first half was really good, but the wheels kind of fell off on the wagon defensively. And the Sixers were getting exploited on that end. So as much as you rely on Ben Simmons as a potential decoy and Joel Embiid as a defensive anchor, the problem becomes matching up with teams that have really good 1 or 2 guards. Ben can eliminate one of them, but if there's a guy that can punch off the dribble and score in a multitude of ways at the 2 or 3 position, the Sixers might struggle on some nights trying to match up with that, throwing Danny Green or Matisse or Furkan Korkmaz on them. So they're going to have to keep continuing to throw different bodies at those types of guys. And for that reason, I'm going to give them a C+ for tonight. Could have been higher if they closed out that second half a little better, though.
Good.
I'm going to say B- because they won, but it's around that range. Like he said, it was a tale of 2 halves, to say the least. My Lord. And going to the halftime, I was like, Joel might not have to play the fourth quarter. We're on a back-to-back tomorrow. This is perfect. And boy, was I wrong.
What about you, Dylan?
I'll go with a B. I get both points, and I agree with both points. I'm just going to give them a B because, again, in years past, Sixers team don't win this game, fellas.
No.
They did. They had every answer, down the stretch. Even when Washington took the lead, they hit a 3, went up by 3. Danny Green hits a corner 3, tie game. That doesn't happen in the past. So it was a gut check game. Obviously, it would be an A++ if they played anywhere near the way they played offensively in the first half. But they won the game. Offense put up over 140. I'll give them a B.
I'm gonna go a B. I think B is pretty fair. You look at how many assists did this team have? 33 assists on 50 field goals. The ball movements there. You saw Embiid 11 points in that final 5 minutes. You saw Ben Simmons get buckets, look for contact in the paint. That's what you want to see, baby. There are a lot of positives here. The spacing is still there. Even though they almost lost this game, very easily they could have lost this game. You touched on it, Dylan. They showed fight. They showed grit. This is not the first time we saw Doc Rivers rally the troops and fight through some hardship here. I'm going to go B. And, guys, this is fun. This is fun basketball. And we went through a shitstorm of 2020 of the Eagles season of Phillies baseball. When's the last time we had this much fun watching it? That was some entertaining basketball. And I was actually contemplating in that first half. Call me crazy, but I was even contemplating. This is the most fun basketball I've watched since the AI days, and that is it's only 8 games. It's only 8 games, but it's just crazy.
My heart can do without the blown 21-point lead.
Nah, I'm good.
My 72 games plus postseason, dude. I don't think you understand what I put my body through.
All right, let's roll on to final thoughts, Brock. Any final thoughts on this game?
Yeah, Chris, you alluded to it, but what I've really noticed is the floor spacing. And the reason this is huge for everybody is because you really see how Ben and Joe can elevate everybody around them's game. And that's because you have one of them in the post or one of them in the high, the low with another in the dunker. And teams are so afraid of what they're going to do in the paint that they sell out to stop them. So they're sending double-team blitzes. They're keeping a foot in the lane. Their guys are sagging off of the shooters by 3 or 4 feet. So they're so scared of what Embiid are going to do in the paint. They're selling out, and it's just generating really good, clean looks around the perimeter. And then the ball movement just takes care of the rest. So I've seen countless times Joe or Ben in the post, a team throws a double, and then they kick it to an open guy in the wing. They read and react, kick it. Then the wing swings it, and then they just work the ball around the perimeter until they get a clean, good look. And you want those shots, whether it's a Danny Green miss or Tobias Harris miss off the catch and shoot, you want those shots 11 out of 10 times because the closeout is just not there in time. So the floor spacing is significant. And you can see that with floor spacing, despite whatever the media says, Ben Simmons and Joel can work together on the basketball court. It can work. It just depends on what you surround them with. You got floor space, real shooters, and this is underrated, but you've got a real coaching staff. You've got a lot of brilliant minds over there on the sideline, and it's a combination of things that are working for the Sixers right now.
Awesome.
God, we almost made it through a full stream without a stupid comment.
Oh boy,
we almost did it.
Where we at?
Did it. You give him a D. You give him a D. Really? Are you kidding? No, I'm not holding back on the comments. You give him a D.
Enjoy it, guys. Enjoy it, baby. Sixers basketball is back. 7-1, number one team in the NBA. 20th straight win, home win. Get final thoughts.
Yeah, kind of what Brock said earlier about Bradley Beal. He's pretty good, huh? It's crazy because me and Dylan decided on Daily Dose today, let's try to figure out our 12 Eastern Conference All-Stars.
Yeah. He watched. I think he watched.
We didn't put Bradley Beal on there, and he puts up 59. But something Brock said, too, just the way Ben attacked the rim in the first half, I think was really, really, really a good look for the Sixers. They created a lot of opportunities off it, so he just has to keep being aggressive.
Yep. What about you, Dylan?
One of my main takeaways, there's so much, but one is 2-5 didn't look to shy away from the moment and on the offensive end late in the game. Wasn't afraid to get to the line late in the game. And the other thing, I'll just piggyback off of what Brock already said. He talked about the spacing. Who would have thought surround these two with shooters? Remember when the Sixers didn't have shooters?
Unbelievable.
So what a game, what a win. I can do without the blown 20-plus point deficit lead, but
All right, let's wrap up with plugs. Brock, plug your shit, man.
All right, so you can find me on Twitter at Landis Brock. That's what you see on my screen. On YouTube, it's my name, Brock Landis, and I also make content for the Painted Lines. You'll see the same stuff on my page that you will on the Painted Lines, but if you support your boy, you'll support both of them. So check both out. Check my guys Dylan and Matt out, and see over here, Chris, man, I really can't thank you enough. Everything you do for me, I appreciate it every day, making thumbnails for me, giving me positive feedback, supporting me, tweeting me. I mean, it's just crazy the support I get from my colleagues over at TPL. So pay it forward, check their stuff out before you check mine out. And then after you do that, check my stuff out.
Tell them, Brock.
Stay solid, baby. Stay solid, baby.
Yes. Kent, you're up, man.
Tomorrow night, 5:30, Faithful Fanatics podcast. The guy above me, Dylan, me, and two of our co-hosts. Also, you can follow my Twitter if you want to see tweets about Villanova basketball. Matt_McGinty.
Can you kind of plug Daily Dose?
Well, I figured I would leave that.
Done my job for me.
I figured I would leave that for you.
Yeah.
Dylan, you're up.
Yeah, so like Gint said, the Faithful Fanatics podcast is tomorrow at 5:30. That is once a week, but if you want every day, Monday through Friday, Sixers, Philly sports content, come check out the Daily Dose with myself. Gint is there literally so far 100% of the time with me. I don't know when that'll change. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so check out the Daily Dose tomorrow at 4:30, leading in to the Faithful Fanatics.
Awesome. That is Faithful Fans 2 on Twitter. Go give him a follow. Follow my man Brock at Landis Brock. Check out his YouTube channel at Brock Landis, and then here at the Painted Lines. Amazing film breakdowns. You don't want to miss it if you haven't checked it out already. Freaking awesome stuff. Follow my man Matt McGinney at Matt_McGinney. Terrible superhero takes, but pretty good sports takes.
There is no takes. I've never seen any.
It's pretty bad.
95% against tweets are garbage.
You favorite every single one of my tweets.
I have to. You're my colleague. I'm required to.
Last up. Thank you everybody here for commenting. Comments for
Nadir.
410. Nadir's joining. What's up, Nadir? Thank you everybody for subscribing. Please like and share and help us push the brand as far as we can. Thank you everyone. Have a good night. 6 or 7-1, 20-game home winning streak. Let's go, baby. Have a good night.